नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आहुजाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुः तं सर्वभूतिं हृदिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारमेकं ध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्दं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनम् उपयामि गुरुमुनीनां मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. So a warm welcome to all of you for this wonderful session, Science of Bhakti Yoga, which happens on every Monday from 7:30 to 8:30. So, so today we'll discuss about how to avoid the difficulties of our life. Anyway, that is the main reason we all take up spiritual life. So we have to understand that Krishna beautifully explains in Bhagavad Gita that how to avoid difficulties in life. But sadly, people don't want to read Bhagavad Gita and understand or try to get away how to get free ourselves from the difficulties. So we think that it is outdated information in Bhagavad Gita, and we don't give ears to Krishna's words from Bhagavad Gita and understand the principles, the basic principles. Krishna beautifully explains Yuktahara Viharasya Yukta Tetasya Karmasu. Beautifully Krishna says Yukta 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 Yukta. Krishna is 4 times he uses Yuktahara Viharasya Yukta Tetasya Karmasu Yukta Swapnavabodhaswa Yogaha Bhavati Karmaja. Yoga bhavati dukkha. So yukta. So let's understand from this beautiful verse, which is Bhagavad Gita 16.7, which beautifully explains how to avoid difficulties in our life. Right? It should be the main uh, course or the benefit of spiritual life. The main benefit of spiritual life is that how to get free from difficulty so that we can be always happy, always blissful, always enjoying. So Krishna is giving this wonderful verse that yuktahara, we will understand this. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasa karmasu yukta swapnavabodhaswa yoga karmasu dukkha. Yoga bhavati dukkha. Yoga bhavati dukkha. So what is this? The verse especially speaks about. See, when you break down these verses beautifully, and we can understand the meaning of this, then easily we can apply in our life. Yuktahara viharasya. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna in 16th chapter that one should have a regulations in our life. What are the different regulations in our life we have to have? One of the regulation is we should have our habits should be regulated. So what are the habits which should be regulated? That we'll discuss. And even eating we should be regulated. So yuktahara, ahara, vihara, and yukta vihara means, and also how should we have regulation in our recreation. Yukta swapnava bodhaswa, how should we have regulation in our sleep. And yukta, how should be regulated in our work. Yukta chetasu karmasu, yukta chetasa karmasu. Karmasu means in our work. Chetasya karmasu. So you have to understand that if we try to regulate ourselves in this four important things in our life, then definitely we can find happiness in our life. Krishna is saying this. So before understanding, coming to this, we have to very much, as last session also I was discussing about the three modes of material nature. See why I'm saying this, unless and until we don't understand the principles behind our how to regulate such things, it only remains a class, only remains one session, one more session. You might have hundreds, so many sessions. So we have to decipher. We have to break down this things, how to regulate. Just like when I was in school, most of you might also come across this during annual day. Annual day happens during the January, mid of December or January, isn't it? So that time they used to recognize. They used to recognize the top score of in mathematics, the top score in science, the top score in some subject. So they used to recognize and they used to honor. And that student used to come up on the stage, and all the parents are there who are seated there, and all are clapping and taking photos and announcement and all those things, videos and things like that. And also, I also used to feel next year I should come on the stage. So I used to make a commitment. I have to make a strong sankalpa because during my school days I knew little mantras. So I used to make so small sankalpa. I used to make like sankalpa mantra puja is doing in the temple. So the next year I should be the top of science because I loved science very much. So then after probably a week or so, all the determination, all the passion which I had to perceive in my goal, in my sankalpa, all started fading off. Started fading off. We have become very complacent and become lost, completely forgotten. After 1 month, completely forgotten. So then after next year only, when annual day is to come, in the school annual day is to come, then it's to, oh, what is this? I missed it. Okay, this year I will do. Next year I will do. So, so where is that passion? Where was that passion that it went off? Where was that sense of fire which was there within me was lost? So just imagine this is because of the Rajoguna. Sometimes it spikes up. Rajoguna spikes up. And Tamoguna sometimes Tamoguna spikes up. Sometimes Satoguna spikes up. When you are sleeping in the night, when alarm rings, you know, kept an alarm and you have thought everything well ahead of the day. You know, previous night itself, you have thought what I have to do for the next day. And you kept alarm so and so time I have to get up. But we snooze. Isn't it? We snooze. And we say, I will sleep for 5 more minutes. So 6 hours, what enjoyment it has given, that has not satisfied you at all. You are thinking 5 more extra minutes will satisfy you more than what you have slept for 6 hours. So there's a spike of tamoguna. You know, very difficult, so lethargy, so lazy. Hmm? There's a you know, so there is a spike of tamoguna and sometimes rajoguna. You sometimes you feel that when you go for a shopping, generally, then when you go for shopping and you think, oh, let me have this item also, let me have that item also, and it will be very useful for this, it will be useful for that, and that is the reason for the consumerism. And as in the present day world, especially in the Western world, a lot of consumerism. They don't see the after effects of nature's the destruction just for their selfish satisfaction, selfish comforts. So then take this item, take that item, this, and they give a big trolley where you can put your child also inside a trolley and you can You can go through the trolley. That was not there in none of our parents' times, isn't it? None of our parents' time. Mother used to give a list of provisions which she required for a month or probably a week, and the father used to go and give that the list to the kirana shop, and they used to prepare and they used to bring back all the items, and they used to recheck what is items, things like that. And when we were in childhood, we used to think that we used to say, no, I want Bonvita, I want Horlicks, I want to, because I used to like a lot of sweets. So I want this. And my father used to say, no, it's not good. Simply, you'll, your tooth, there'll be a lot of, you'll have tooth decay and the tooth problem, and you eat that, and a lot of worms will be there in your stomach. Don't eat so much of sugar. So whenever but I was very much eager to go with my father whenever he used to go to the kirana shop. Kirana means that provision, general provision stores. And I used to go and we used to give, and I used to bribe my mother, or I used to tell my mother, please add something, no, without my father's notice, in somewhere in the middle of the list or the last of the list, some chocolate or some Maggie or some bonbon. Before there was a bonbon or something. There used to be a biscuit. There's a chocolate biscuit, bonbon. So that I used to like so much. I used to be mad after it. So then I used to tell my mother, please add somewhere in the list or the end of the list, so that my father can, without notice, he doesn't notice that, and he gives everything to the kirana person, that general stores person, and he packs everything and he brings. And I used to go with my father, and I was just so eager to go with my father to the kirana shop. And I used to always think, oh, I want this, I want that, and I always used to think. So that is when a spike, then a mode of passion spikes up, or the mode of Sattva spike sometimes. When I was to be in my school days, where my mother used to wake us up. Is it our mothers used to wake us up for the exams, or to prepare for exams, or to study during the early hours, so that the mind becomes very clear. You can memorize many things. So that is the Sattva spikes up. So many times this spiking up will happen. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna. Especially when you have seen this called a spike buster. You might have heard about it, spike buster. So there will be a number of jacks or the sockets for the electric. So one wire will be having with the system, where you can use 4, 5 or probably 10 sockets in the panel, and there'll be a spike buster, and there's a one small capacitor or something like that, and that takes care of if something is surge, if there's a surge in the electricity or something like that, immediately it'll cuts off, or immediately it will blow off itself, rather than it sending the energy, extra energy or fluctuation energy more into the um, all the items which is connected, all the gadgets or auto is connected, and getting the gadgets getting spoiled. So before that, there's a checkpoint called as a spike buster. There's a spike. There's a spike there, then it will just stop that. So before, there was probably some 30, 40 years back, that was the system, because there used to be spike. Sometimes bulb used to go off. That the no, the 40 watt bulb. Before, there's a bulbs and the tube light. In the tube light also, there used to be a small, they used to call regulator, and there's starter, isn't it? So regulator, it used to regulate the energy and used to give whatever, how much that tube light wants. So similarly, we have to understand in our life, we have to develop the quality of how to bust the spikes which are happening in our life because of three modes of material nature. So some people say, without the passion, we can't become more productive. Just like I was saying that uh, for my annual day, I was so passionate that I also want to get some good marks and be in the stage and take photographs and videos like that. So it is a passion, isn't it? For that, if you want to, people say that if you have to be passionate to be more productive. So you should be passionate to be more productive. So, but our Shastra says Yes, you can be passionate for your to become more productive. Rajoguna is required, just like Sattva guna is required, Tamoguna is required. And if there's no Tamoguna, just imagine you can't sleep in the night and your body will not be rejuvenated for the next day work. Is it Tamoguna is also required? Or sometimes Tamoguna, someone scolds you or someone humiliates you, someone chastises you. Yeah, some amount of Tamoguna is required so that you forget and forgive. Forgive is different. At least you forget. So, so very importantly, we should. What I'm trying to convey here today for all of you here is that we should have a balance. There's a balance required, needed for good productivity. So there's required. The tamoguna is required, sattva is required, rajoguna is also required. But for a healthy life, for a healthy well-being of our life, we should have a balanced uh, gunas. You should have balance. Should balance it up. So we have to. We all know that there are three forces in this material world that always impels human beings to act in different ways. So what are the three forces? The three forces are Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. And these are the three forces in this material world which impels anyone to act in a certain way. And does happens that person experiences happiness, distress, stress, all those things which he undergoes. So these are three forces which we all have been tied with. Uh, so this is the three forces which affects our thinking. These are the three forces which affects our behavior. These are the three forces which affects our emotion. We have to understand that's what Krishna is saying that these are called as gunas. So the mode of gunas, isn't it? So Krishna says Bhagavad Gita beautifully that Sattvam Raja Tama iti Gunaha Prakritehe Sambhavaha. So this is very much important. Sattva, Raja, Rajo and Tamo Guna. These are the three gunas. So he says Nibandhanti Mahabaho Dehi Dehinam Avyayam. Nibandhanti Mahabaho Dehi Dehinam Avyayam. So Dehi Dehinam, a person who is a Dehi in the Deha. Okay. So that is bounded by Avyayam. He is bounded by this Sattva, Raja and Tama iti. The Gunaha, Prakriti Sambhavaha. So Krishna beautifully explains that this material world consists of three nature, these three energies. Just like you might have all heard about electromagnetic force, right? Because of the electromagnetic force, everything in this material world has been kept in a certain form or certain status. Just like you might now you might be hearing this session through this mobile or some laptop or whatever it is or desktop. So if the mobile has to be a mobile, there should be a configuration in the atom level that it should maintain its status. Otherwise, if it changes its status, it'll become a different. Just like a water is liquid. When you heat it up, then all the molecules of the water changes its atomic status and becomes a smoke. Sorry, it will start boiling up and it'll start evaporating and it becomes air, isn't it? So the status has changed. So there's electromagnetic force. There's a force which has kept the mobile as a mobile itself so that it can serve a purpose. So there's a force there. So when you add a different force to the water, it becomes from water to it becomes air. It becomes smoke, things like that. So similarly, you have to understand that there is electromagnetic force, there is a nuclear force, and there is a gravitational force. Isn't it? We all heard about this. So similarly, we have to understand Krishna speaks about the basics of these forces, which we all know through our physics from our schools and colleges. The basics of these forces are is there is three modes of material nature. These are three forces. So whole of this material world is made from these energies. That is called as Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. These are the energies. And whenever the living being comes in contact with this material world, immediately he gets bounded by these three forces, three energy fields. Just like if someone wants to go to the moon, okay, so we have to have a rocket, and that should have so much of fuel in it, so that there's a lot of thrust. Because of a lot of thrust, it pushes itself from the gravitational force. It cuts through the atmospheric layers, and then it goes to the space. So it requires a lot of thrust, lot of force, lot of energy to get to lift itself from the earth to the space, isn't it? So similarly, we have to understand this material world, this gravitational force I was just saying, is so strong. Similarly, this material world is made up of Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. So if we have to uplift our consciousness, uplift ourselves, we have to put lot of force, lot of stress, lot of sorry, stress, lot of pressure, lot of thrust we have to put, so that we can uplift our consciousness. It is not simply by eating rasgulla your consciousness is elevated. No, if our consciousness has to be elevated, because so now my consciousness is all always towards this material world. It is attracted to this material world, to this body. So if ourself has to elevate ourselves, it requires lot of struggle, lot of hard work. It doesn't come simply by eating a pill, and you become ecstatic, LSD. Not like that. So please understand, if I have to elevate ourselves, our consciousness, levitate, to lift ourselves, then you have to do, we have to put lot of work about, to put just like a rocket is putting lot of thrust to get out of this. So once you go into the space, then that is not required. So initially that thrust level will be so much. Half of any rocket will be half, or three-fourths of any rocket will be completely with the fuel, completely with the things which are there, isn't it? It pushes so much, and it goes, and finally a top part, a pinnacle of that the rocket will be some satellite or some people who want to travel to moon or things like that. So they will go. Is it only one fourth or less than that? So similarly, just imagine if the soul has to initially, he has to get out of this material bondages, material attractions, material affections, material afflictions and everything. He has to put lot of stress and struggle to uplift his consciousness, and once he goes and becomes a Brahma Bhuta, Prasannatmana, Swachindra Kankshati. So when you become Brahma Bhuta, you become, now it is a, now we are all Pedam Bhutas. So, so Bhuta with the Panchabhutas, with the made up of five elements. So we have to become Brahma Bhuta. We have to understand ourselves, that who we are, what we are. We are not of this material world. And that consciousness, when you go, all the dukkha, sukha, mana, apamana, everything becomes equipoised, equal. Just like Srila Prabhupada, whatever, irrespective of his health condition, irrespective of his disciples, trying to put him out of his car. So many things they wanted to do for Prabhupada. The few of the disciples, not many of them, few of the disciples, they were so much, they wanted to take out the initial times when Prabhupada was sick, and they wanted to bring Bon Maharaj into the institution, because Prabhupada becomes old and he may leave his body. So some devotees were thinking Prabhupada may leave body, let us bring some other guru. So like that, so many things was going, but Prabhupada was never disturbed with all this, the surroundings which he had, the people which you are there, and the health conditions which was there, age factor. But Prabhupada was always Krishna conscious, always used to speak about Krishna, talk about Krishna, chant about Krishna's names, isn't it? So that when you go above, then completely you will different. So this is very much important. We all know the Sattva Guna. So what is Sattva Guna? To refresh. Let's see what is Sattva Guna. It is a mode of goodness. Okay, it represents a mode of goodness, and which a sense of inner happiness, I would say, inner happiness. So what is the Rajoguna? Rajoguna is basically they have a lot of strong desires, lot of stress and struggle they put to achieve a goal. They most basically they are so impatient. Basically, they have a lot of attachment to the things. That's why they chase it. That's why they wanted to achieve it and they grab it. So that is Rajoguna. So because of their desires, that's what the people who are in Rajoguna, they are hyperactive, they are super busy, and always they're ambitious. They want to achieve some goal. They are because that pride in achieving a goal, the people appreciates, people recognizes you, people value your efforts, and that pride, then chases us to accomplish more and more and more and more. So we have to understand that is Rajoguna. And Tamoguna is what? It is always characterized by ignorance and lazy, lethargy, inertia, like that. So basically, it's ignorance and is not interested in his own welfare. So these are the different three gunas we all have discussed from the beginning of this session. Okay. So we have to understand people or will be always influenced by the three modes of material nature. And because they are influenced by the three modes of material nature, many a times they get into difficulties. It's because that's what Sattvam Shuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. So what Krishna consciousness gives here is to uplift our consciousness from the Tamoguna to Rajaguna, Rajaguna to Sattva Sattva to Shuddha Sattva. So Vasudeva Sabditam. So Vasudeva Sabditam means basically it is a Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is completely always in Krishna consciousness. So people who are in Sattva Guna, whenever there is a calamity in their life, difficulties in their life, those kind of people, so let's understand. So those kind of people act maturely. So whenever there's a difficulties or calamities in their life, they act according to their maturity. So that's we'll discuss what is maturity. So and also they consider any calamity or any difficulty or any struggle in their life as a or any negativity in their life as a catalyst, as a the chance to further grow. They take it as the challenge and they wanted to personally grow. So basically, this the Sattva this the Sattva is in the face of any difficulty or challenges. They take those challenges as an opportunity to grow. So that is the Sattva. What is the Rajoguna? Rajoguna is they wanted to achieve a lot. They want to achieve a goal, irrespective of whatever they're going to face. And when they achieve and success because with all their efforts, and they want to take all the name and fame and power and whatever which comes with it. So, and what is the Tamoguna? And Tamoguna is always they'll be in ignorance, they'll be bewildered, they'll be confused, they're not interested. So most of us fall into Tamoguna. So this Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna always keep fluctuating in our life. So this is such beautiful principle Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, and we have to very importantly what we have to do is even though knowing this qualities or characteristics of these gunas, what we have to very importantly is we can't get out of these gunas. Very difficult. It takes time, but we have to learn to balance. We have to balance how to balance the passion, how to balance the ignorance, how to balance the goodness. So we have to understand that these three forces which are there in this material world, it is inevitable, and we all been our thoughts are affected by our thoughts are affected by these three modes, our actions are affected by the three modes, our behavior is affected by these three modes. So Krishna, that's why he says, so we have to work towards such a way that at least we have to uplift from the tamoguna to rajoguna and sattoguna. At least we have to forget about the Shuddha Sattva and all those things. At least we have to, if at all, if we want to make our life a little happier and satisfying and contented, then very importantly, we have to understand what are the qualities of Sattva Guna so that we can reduce the impact of Rajoguna and Tamaguna. That impact will be always there. We can't get out of this. We can't. So, but how to reduce those impact of Rajoguna and Tamaguna so that we can be more happier and more satisfied and more settled. So there's a delicate balance we have to learn. So if at all, if you want to achieve any of your goal, even material goal or spiritual goal, any of your goal, so you have to learn how to balance this. And Krishna beautifully explains this. When you strike a balance between these three modes of material nature, then automatically what happens? Then you can achieve a goal. Just imagine you want to achieve a goal. You think that in so many years I also have to make a money, or I have to build a house, or I have to do so and so, whatever it is. Forget about spiritual desires. So if someone wants to achieve something materially, so then he'll having a determination. He having a determination. Oh, I have to achieve. And for that determination, very importantly, patience is required. He doesn't mean that he has got determination and left and right started knocking everyone and disturbing everyone. You can't achieve a goal. Then you'll become an outlaw. Is that it? So if you have a determination to achieve a goal, patience. But you should, if at the patience, if you have a patience, but that patience should be properly balanced. Otherwise, that patience will become complacent because too much patience, what happens, you'll become lazy. You'll become very complacent. You will give it up. You will think it's not possible. So you'll go to the tamoguna. So you have to have a determination also. We should have a patience, right? Patience also, so that we can have our progress become sustained. When you keep progressing in the chart in the graph, you stay progressing. So that balance is required. So if you have determination, but if you are not patient, if you're impatient, it will not work. And if you are patient, but if you are not properly you're patient and you're too much patient, then you will become complacent. You become very lazy. So there's a balance, right? There's a balance. We have to do this. It is a balance in our health, in our relationship, in everything. It is a inert quality which Lord has given to us, but we have to little sharpen it. So that's what Krishna is saying. So Krishna is saying, don't be ambitious. Don't be overly ambitious. So we should learn the art of regulating this and have the proper balance. That's what Krishna says. Hmm. What is that initial verse for you? You thought yukta hara viharasya yukta chetasu karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogaha bhavati dukkha. Hmm? So we have to see that we have to regulate. So it's very important. So some devotees say, Prabhuji, our chanting is not pure. Our reading, I'm not able to understand. Yesterday I went to one devotee place and he's saying that, Prabhuji, every Diwali, he has a Bhagavatam set. Every Diwali, and I saw the Bhagavatam set in his showcase. So and I said, oh, you have Bhagavatam set also. Very nice. In which canto are you reading? And I asked him. He said, Prabhuji, every Diwali I remove that and clean it and keep it there. I told, better do Aarti and offer flowers and do Aarti, no? Why you are simply keeping there? No, books are not meant to be kept in showcases. Books are meant to be to sharpen our intellect, to uplift our consciousness. Please understand this. So very importantly, we have to understand if at all, if we have the regulation in our life, we should get into this. We should, when chanting, when you're reading, when you are doing devotional service, when you're association and all those things, everything should be balanced. Everything should be balanced. Just like sometimes we think, oh, so much service I did. Oh, I need a lot of rest. Let me sleep for more time. Let me miss Mangalarti, no problem. And then I have all the good reasons to tell Krishna tomorrow that Krishna, I did so much of work yesterday and I was so tired. My body was so weak. I could not, recuperate, and I could not really get into my service. And the next day, if I would have not taken a proper sleep, so I slept, Krishna. So all the God reasons, the mind creates all the reasons. For you to actually, mind is such a greatest enemy if you don't train it. It always wants to do all the bad activity. Mind always wants to do bad activity and break the laws. That is the mind. We have to understand this. Mind's nature is always like this. But when the mind becomes a great friend, always it helps devotee. See, whenever it sees anything, it always see as a service to Krishna. Otherwise, everything. See, the the windows to our mind is the windows where you can see through the external world is our eyes. The first very important is two eyes. So when you see something, you start loving it. You start chasing it. You want to achieve it, and you enjoy it, and you break the laws. And further, you want to increase more and more and more and more and more, and there's no satisfaction. So there's a balance. Just like there is itching sensation. Most of you might have got this probably during heavy summers or something like that. There'll be skin itches, isn't it? There's an itch in the skin, and it'll be so painful. It'll be so much itching, and agitating. And you start rubbing, and you feel so soothing, so happy, isn't it? But your nails are trying to rupture your skin and destroy the skin and make more wound and more bruise or the wound on your skin, isn't it? And it is worsen, and the whole status of your skin becomes so worsen, becomes so red, and it'll be fluffy, and it'll all bulge out and fluffy and become red, and blood starts coming, pus starts coming, isn't it? But I'll still be able to scratch. So that's what probably in our mothers, when we go to, when we are scratching something, I've seen when one American lady, she was scolding her son. Son was scratching like this, and she was calling, "Don't scratch, don't scratch, don't scratch." And that fellow said, "No, no, Maha, I can't tolerate. It is so much itching. I want to scratch. I want to scratch." And mother started, they can't beat because they have the principles like that. And mother is, she tied both the hands. Now you should not scratch. So similarly, just because to stress, people say it's a stress buster, to satisfy the senses is a stress buster, because we have so much of stressed and depressed, and so much of tension. So stress buster is what enjoy your senses to its fullest extent, and the mind becomes so calm, cool, peaceful. It's wrong, because you see example of this is the stress there. Stress, for itching sensation, there's a lot of excruciating pain there. But when I rub it, you think, it's a stress buster. But what is happening to my skin? What is happening to myself? Rather than my stress is getting busted out, I'm here, and double the spirit, or double it doubles up your anxiety, or your itching sensation. It becomes doubles up, isn't it? So a similar same thing as this. Mind is also like that. So you should have a balanced in your sleeping, balance your eating, balance your recreation, balance your work. Krishna is saying because of this, so that you can have a well-being, overall well-being in your life. That is all about spiritual life. Forget about Krishna. Forget about Golok to Goloka. Forget about chanting Hare Krishna mantra and many things like that. Spiritual process, Abhishekam, Aarti, Pradakshina, Homa, Yagna. Secondary. Primary spiritual practice is to what? Krishna is saying. Whether you be a atheist, whether you're agnostic, whether you're whichever you yourself call, apart from being a devotee of Krishna, whichever thing you call yourself, a narcissist, atheist, whatever it is. So please understand that you have to balance this. That is a spiritual, Krishna is spiritual, that is spiritual practice, because you are a spirit by nature. So what is the yukta hara? Yukta hara viharasya. Yukta chetasu karmasu. What yukta hara first says? You should have a proper balanced eating. So please understand, if something is a feast today or nice item has been made, now Yugadi is coming and you may all cook nice items. So you should have a balanced diet within yourself, a mindful eating. When you're eating something, should eat as the blessings of the Lord. Pray to Krishna, first offer prayers to Krishna and chant Hare Krishna mantra and have a mindful eating. When you're eating, don't see mobile, don't see TV, don't talk with anyone. You and the food, because that food is nourishing you, isn't it? I mean, many a times I always keep telling that you should savor, you should enjoy, you should savor or enjoy each of your bite. Ah, so tasty. One is tasty and things, and one more thing is it helps to connect ourselves, because any food has a two substance in it. One is a gross substance, one is a subtle substance. The gross substance goes to the gross body, and the subtle substance goes to the subtle body. What is the gross substance? Yeah, you just imagine if there's a sweet rice. What is that? Rice, milk, sugar, isn't it? So all these things will go to the gross body. And what is the subtle energy in that? And I meant to recollect the Sanskrit words which says, so the subtle sense which goes to the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, false ego. So while you're eating, you should chew deliberately, nicely. You should chew. Prabhupada used to chew so nice. If you have seen the videos like that, Prabhupada used to sit in one corner and you should concentrate on. Prabhupada was to never used to talk with people and eat like that. Isn't you might have seen that? So Prabhupada used to sit in one corner and used to concentrate on the food he's eating and nicely used to chew. And it's not just for the taste. Generally, with the taste, you swallow up, but we forget to chew properly. So if you want to have optimal digestion in your life, a good digestion, you should nicely chew. And also don't try to eat. See, that's what you should have. Generally, most of our brahmacharis, what we do, we have one container. So in a container, we fill few things and we eat only that much. Many of these spiritualists do this. So that even though it is a food, nice, tastier item, no, I will eat only this container, one tiffin box of this one, is small container. So even though it is tasty or other thing, no, only this much. So otherwise, what happens because of tasty and other things? So now we eat so much and we want to skip the next meal, or you want to have some other thing. So this ups and downs are there. And this sometimes overindulge in eating, and sometimes not eating properly. So either you are under eating or you are overeating. It has to be balanced. So if you undereat, you'll become weak. If you overeat, you will become lazy. So just like correct now, if you eat so much more than what required, then stomach was so much full, and next is only sleep. Will not be interested. So we should have a clean homemade food offered to Krishna. It should be nutritious one, and Krishna beautifully explains further on how it should be, how your meal should be, the quality of your meal, how it should be. Krishna speaks about what is the what is a rajasic food, what is tamasic food. Krishna beautifully explains. You have to go into this, in the details of this. One, the satvika ahara, what is that? It is very juicy, very fresh. It is made of fresh and very clean, and very nutritious, very wholesome, and less spice and things like that. It gives a strength, it gives a healthy, it brings more satisfaction and happiness, or the happiness in one's life. That is called as sattva guna. This is called sattvika food. So basically, grains or natural ingredients, fruits, vegetables, nuts, like this. So Krishna speaks about that, and Krishna speaks about what is the rajasic food. We have to avoid that. More spices, which with all stimulating elements should be there. In tomato sauce, puree, and all those things. They add Ajinomoto and all those things. It scintillates now our tongue. We want something very hot, very pungent, very dry, very burning, very sour, something very bitter. So we want all these things. That's what we take pickles and want to just satisfy. So, or some people, that one person had gone to his house. And he was saying, Prabhuji, I go to Vrindavan, but after eating all the Mahaprasadam also, I feel some craving to drink some carbonated water, some soda. So because I've been so much addicted to that, that even after eating Krishna Prasadam, I went to Vrindavan of some temple, Rajbhog, and I feel like so much craving that I want to drink that carbonated water, some soda to for my digestion. I feel that is like so. It is all mind's the play. And the tamasic food is what? Tamasic food are something which is processed and which is very dull and which makes you more lazy and the more sleeplessness. So sorry, full sleepy and feel more tired. So become just like fried foods, junk foods, and which really creates obese and indigestion. So this kinds of food is a tamam. Krishna beautifully explains what are this, what are these things. So Krishna is why saying, please have this balance. You should have a balance in your life. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. What is swapnava bodhasya means? You sleep. Krishna is saying you sleep. But that should be balanced. You should have a quality sleep. So that you can have a physical and mental health can be maintained with a proper good sleep. So your room should be aerated. You should be free from all the dust and the dirt around that. Nicely every day you should clean your room. You should wash your the things in your house, all the bed sheets, everything once in a while, probably once in 4 days or a week. No, a week is too much. At least 4 days. Keep washing it. At least put in the sun. And no, I should be properly in your house when you're going to sleep there. It should not be all cluttered. If it is cluttered and your house is small, put on some cream and put one cloth on that so that it doesn't brings that clutterness in your mind also. So just nicely clean, decorate things around you. So and also you should have a natural. There's see, body itself has a natural rhythm within it. So every day you try to feel yourself 9 o'clock means 9:30 means finish end the day, and 9:30 you start preparing yourself. For 10 o'clock you should go to sleep. So you should have that rhythm in our life. Krishna says. So either you overeat or undereat or oversleep or undersleep. So it is not recommended. Krishna is saying. So whether so all those things has to be balanced. Sleep has to be balanced. Sleep is meant for rejuvenation because when it is not satisfying you even after you are sleeping for tens of hours or no, so 24 hours also. So what is the use of simply sleeping when you have all the bad dreams and you're so tired when you get up, especially in the summer. You please don't sleep in the afternoon more than 30 minutes or something by chance if you want to. Otherwise it's not recommended. And you'll be so because of so much of hot and all those things when you get up you'll be so tired. Sleep should be rejuvenating, right? You should be uplifted, you should be refreshed when you get up. So that's what you should have. You should work upon yourself. Oh, when I'm feeling very tired. Oh, this is not the real rejuvenation. So I probably have to sleep less, or I should eat less before I sleep, or immediately after eating I should not sleep. So all those things we have to work upon ourselves. Something is just eat it, something sleep it. No, in that sense you don't have control over yourself. Forget about control on the mind. We have to start about control on our daily activities, and that regulated the way of our life will create a symphony in our life. It create a rhythm in our life, and that helps to overcome all the mind disturbances, and that's how we can control our mind. So before sleeping, you should pray. So show the gratitude to the Lord. Thanks for everything which has given to you today. And when you wake up, then you should say thanks to the Lord that you woke up. And all those things you should do the prayers. And yukta swapnava bodhasya or yukta. Next one is yukta chetasya karmasu. Yukta chetasya karmasu means in our work, in our activity, in our job, in our daily activities, how it should be completely effective. You should manage your time properly. Because many times when you get up late, then you start rushing towards this, that, and everything will be completely chaos. It'll be completely chaos. So that's what everything has to be properly managed. Hmm. So otherwise, every other activity, and also whenever there is some chaos, immediately you have to take a break, pause, and take a deep breath, chant Hare Krishna mantra, and pray to the Lord. Then go to the next activity. Otherwise, with the same vibration you go, no, and whole day will be all effective, only affected. Right from the early morning, you will not get on the on time. So similarly, now you have to prioritize your goals in your life. Actually, I was seeing some video. Someone has said, he was saying that you have to know that what in next 10 years what you have to do. So you have to jot down things. It really struck me. Okay, next 10 years, what to do? Have to finish reading so and so. Have to so you have to have your own goal, set of goals in your life. It doesn't happen chalega children. Just like we have goals of building a house or bring up our children and making them study, and for the marriage we have to keep money and so many things we things, right? But we forget to prioritize our own inner self, development our inner self. So that we have to really think about, take some breaks in our life. Yes, life is there, children are there, family is there, work is there, everything you have to do. But somewhere you have to take a break in our life, and you have to mentally you have to rejuvenate yourself so that you can have a properly work-life balance, a healthy work-life balance. So otherwise, this keeps going. Somewhere you have to, make some time and sit down, jot down few points when you start writing, and that's how we'll be more clear in our understanding. What is my goal? What I have to achieve in my life? Not eating, sleeping, and eating different things. That is all already there, even in animal life. That you don't know has to work about. So we have to understand that you should have a balanced recreation. Krishna also say yukta viharasya, yukta viharasya. So we have recreation also. So recreation also, you go to the temples, you go to the holy places, so that you can recharge our consciousness. Generally, it happens like when you go to Tirupati or when you go to Vrindavan, when you go to Dwarka, Jagannath Puri, you're taking a pause, you're taking a halt, you're taking a break, right? You're going to the holy places and rejuvenating. So that should also happen year on year. Not that, oh, this year I could not go because of so many things. No, no, you have to make yourself break yourself, you have find some break in your life, some time in your life, pause with whatever things you should just go. So that are the times for rejuvenation. So either it is a balanced sleeping or balanced eating or balanced working or balanced recreation. This has to be properly become, you have to create a routine in your life, even though it's balanced, but it doesn't mean that for 1 week you do and leave it. So you should create a proper routine in your life. You have to write down in your book or on a notice board in your house. This time I will get up, this time I will do this one, this time I will chant, this time I will do. Actually, we have in our ashram like that because we have temple commanders, they keep following up things. We have everything regulated. Get up early in the morning, do Mangalarti, do chanting, do Darshanarti, do Bhagavatam, do Prasadam, then do our services. Then again come in the evening, do this, do this, do this, read scriptures, take Prasadam and have association, and then go to sleep. It's all regulated. In this way, it will be home enjoyful, life will be very enjoyable. So don't, so very important, we have to balance, if at all, if you want to break free from all the difficulties in life, as Krishna say, yukta, swapna, bodhasya, all this, we should have a regulated eating, regulated sleep, regulated work, regulated rejuvenation, regulated recreation. So so we should have a mindful eating. We should have mindful, proper, peaceful sleep. We should have proper recreation with Krishna conscious activities, so that you will become completely free from all the stresses. You have to reset yourself in your life. So these are all there. So we are end of the class. So furthermore, we can discuss in our next sessions. So I just wanted to conclude here saying that we should have a balanced lifestyle so that we can have a peaceful life free from all difficulties and struggles in our life. The struggles in life is always there, but to get free from all those things, we should balance this three modes. Sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamaguna, we have to balance. So that is the main reason for Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that these are the wonderful principles we have to follow. And that Prabhupada has started given by starting an institution, starting an organization, and there's a regulated way of doing. When you start, so it should be also a routine. So it should be conscious routine in your life that you do the same thing again and again and again and again. So having said this, thank you all for your patientful hearing. And if anyone has any questions, we can take it now, else we can end the session. Hare Krishna. I hope I made some sense to all of you. I hope you could get some carry home points, take home points, so they can apply in your life. Um, any response from anyone? Hello? Okay. Thank you. Because these online sessions are such a thing, it's like talking to a wall. So you'll be just talking to a wall and you'll be not knowing who has understood, who has heard, or who is online, things like that. But nevertheless, we all been adapted to such kind of sessions. But I would feel it should be more interactive. Otherwise, you can just on the YouTube and you can just watch. It should be interactive when you're spending your time to join an institution and a temple is setting up such a wonderful platform for you to discuss. I would feel we should all ask questions and yes, AI can also give you answers, but it'll for personal questions, personal things. I would feel a life has to be there to really make our they can properly understand us and give proper answers. Yes, Mataji. Someone wanted to ask something.
No, Prabhu, just wanted to thank you for the entire session. It was very enlightening because you gave very relevant day to day examples which we could understand, and what we generally land up doing in our day to day activities is what we need to take cognizance of and need to start regulating this. That is the first step. So, thank you so much for the session, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So thank you all. So next we'll meet once again next Monday, same time, 7:30 to 8:30. All the best. Wish you all the best. Happy Ugadi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful session.